Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today, I'm going to be doing a marathon build session. I'm going to be doing the next, well, let's get this right. I'm going to be finishing box 9 of the IXO Collections Build the Renault Alpine. Or is it Alpine or is it Alpine? People are saying it's Alpine. I think it's Alpine. So I'm going to be doing, finishing box 9. And I'm also going to be doing box 10 and 11. So there's I think there's 10 stages in total that we're going to be doing today. See what I mean about a marathon build? So obviously we've built this so far. And in the last pack, we were working on this, which we're shortly going to be attaching the wheels to, I believe. That looks just like that. And obviously I've got a massive box down here because I've got the inner floor pan that we're actually going to be putting on. So by the end of the video today, it's going to look more like a car, an Alpine car. I'm sure I'm saying that right now. If you want to get this for yourself, just head over to IXO Collections and I have put the link in the video description there. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. There's actually 3 stages that I've still to do on box 9, and we are still working on the steering. So if you remember, I put the rack in here last time, looking like that. That's what we're going to be working on today, as you can see. Adding some extra parts to that. So by the end of it, this steering arm is actually going to be fixed into position. So let's do that now. And here's all the parts for that. And the first piece we need looks just like this. There is 2 in this pack, but they are identical. What we need to do is make sure that the rack here, we can actually see the rack through the hole that we've got there. So that's how this is going to work. So I need to push this into position. I'm just going to actually take this top bit off because I haven't glued that in. I don't need that on at the moment. That'll give me a bit more access. But when this is in, just to show you, we can see the rack in that hole just at the top there. Okay, so to put this in, we're going to be taking one side here, putting one side just into the wheel carrier there, and then putting the other side into, making sure it's around the right way, into that rack that I just showed you there. Just like that. Perfect. Now, in this section just here is going to be held in with a BM screw. And I'll get that all the way through. Perfect. Now to hold this section just here into position, we're going to be putting a flange screw in there. That's a UM screw. Just bear in mind, anything with an M on it, I am automatically putting the screw in some oil just to help me out here. And then screw that in nice and tight there. So that's one side of that rack in. And as you can see in the hole there, you can see how this is going to engage with the steering arm. Okay, we're now going to do the other side, so I'm just going to turn the wheels slightly just so I can get them into position and do exactly the same thing. So this arm here is going into this side just like that. I'll get the BM screw through just like that there, and then once again the UM screw just into this side to hold these parts together. Excellent. So now this is linked by that arm. When I turn one, it's going to turn the other just like that. We can put that to one side because now we are going to be making that steering arm. And to do that, I need to put this tiny rectangular block in here just like this to make a universal joint there. And I'm going to be holding it with QM screws just from each side. I do like how all these parts are metal, but they are tiny. So I have got my magnifying glasses on here just to help me get that lined up. So that's one side. I'll just put one in the other. And there we go. That's in like that. That then means I can take the steering arm here. That's going to go on the other side of that square block. And once again, QM screws to keep that into place. One that side. And just one on the other side there. Now over this section at the end, next to that gear, we have got a little tiny bracket to put on that's going to go on like that. And this is then going to be fitted to that steering here. So, as you can see, we do have that hole. This is going to go over that, slot it in so it's engaged with that rack, which I've got in there. That's all engaged, it's fully in, and I want to screw that into position. I'm going to be doing that with some ABM screws. Notice which way I've got the bracket round, so the top section is facing me. So 2 screws, this one and this one here. Now what I have done, didn't tell me in the instructions, or I don't think it did, because the instructions are in French, is I have put a little bit of oil in there just to help turn that. But when I turn that now, as you can see, the wheels move. Excellent. And that is all there is to do in that stage. What I'll do is I'll put this bit here back in, just so I don't lose it. But that is the end of that stage. So nice simple one for stage 35. We're just going to be creating one of the wheels here and putting this onto the vehicle. We've got another wheel we've already done, so both will now go onto the vehicle, so it looks just like that. So get this all open. All the hubs for the wheel we've already done are in this one as well. And all I'm going to do is push one side of the rim in there and one side in here. There is a way round it does go, because the lip on the inside is slightly different. But I'll push that one in as well. Quite a tough little push in. But I am just trying to line the holes up now. It's held together with AM screws, which I've got here. All of those rims are metal. We are looking at some really, really high quality on this build. And get these in. I have to say, just looking at this build, a rally car like the Alpine, I really do hope I'm saying that right, because folks have been telling me you don't pronounce it Alpine. Wouldn't normally be a car that I would do as a model, but this is actually one of my favourite builds, and I think it's the way that it's going together. It's going together a lot easier than some of the other builds that we've done in the past, and that's always a bonus. So make sure that's nice and tight. And then these are going to be going onto the hubs here. Now, as you can see, we do have a keyhole pattern which matches with the notch that we've got in the wheel there. So we need to line that up. Make sure that notch is in as well. Just like that. That's the first one in. I've got a washer that I've got to put in the top there. Then it's all held in with a VM screw. Now the VM screws are flange screws. I'm using my bigger screwdriver now. This is the PH1 screwdriver, because you really do want these wheels to be in as tight as you can possibly get them. So there's no wobble in it. That's perfect. And then just take one of the hubs here. Make sure you got it the right way around and just push that in the centre. That's going to hide that screw. And there we go. That's the first wheel in. Just repeat that for the other one. So we got this from another pack. I can't remember when we did this. Was this in the last pack? Make sure we've put that in to the groove again. Should be a bit easier this time, because obviously the other wheel is going to help you keep that more stable. VM screw down the top there. Get that in as tight as I can. Perfect. Put the hub on the top. Excellent. And that is both the wheels in. Look, perhaps I should glue this in. It keeps falling out. I'm resisting gluing this at the time, but that's in there. So once again, when this turns, as you can see, the steering wants to turn here, but both of the wheels are actually moving like that. Perfect. That's all there is to do in that stage. Move swiftly on to stage 36, and now we really are starting to extend this rally car out. I'll just show you what we're going to do. As you see, we're going to be extending this out. Quite a quick stage, this one, and putting these hoses just into the back there. So this middle section here is metal. It's all metal. I love that sort of quality there. And what we're going to be doing on this end here, this is where these pipes are going to be going. So now I'm just going to be putting these pipes into this. You'll know you've got them in the right way, because when you put them in, they should be tilting upwards, as you can see just there. We do need to put some screws into that though. So some SM screws, they do come with this stage, are going to keep them into place. So that's one. And this one's two. This is then going on to the main part of the car where we had the engine there. It's just going to be going into this section just here. Now you do see that we had these which weren't attached last time. They're going to go onto the lugs that you can just see either side there. So I'll get these pinned in. That's one. And two. Attach this to the bottom here. And it's going to be held in with AAM screws. So I've got that here. I'm going to use my bigger screwdriver on these. Just to get that in nice and tight. There you go. So that's one. And we just need to put another one in just at the front section. There you go. So that's the second one in. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So that moves us swiftly on to box 10 now. We're going to be doing stage 37 next. Let's go straight to that. Just showing you a bit of the magazine. And pretty much like we did last time, we are reinforcing that base up there. So by the end of it, it is now joining both these sections together. So it looks just like that. So just to give you an idea of how this goes, I've got this upside down at the moment, as you can see. What we're going to be doing is taking this, putting it in an angle, so that this section here is going to go through the hole, but the other section is going to fit flush on there just like that. So to hold that in, from the other side, we're going to be putting an AAM screw. Get that out. So turn it over. We can take this top off again. It keeps falling off on its own anyway, just so I can get a screw down the middle there. But that's ready to go, but you're not going to be able to screw it in yet until we've actually attached it to this side here. So I'm going to line these parts up. I've got the screw in there ready now. Get them all into place. Just like that. And now, get your screwdriver out. That screw will now hold both sections together. Perfect. Make that nice and tight. And I can replace this top once again. We've got another AM screw just to put in the middle there. This has really made the car stable. It's amazing because the whole thing is metal. So the way that's gone together, perfect. And then if I turn this upside down, just like that, I'm interested in this section here. I've got a bracket to put over, which is going to go on like that. And once again, another AAM screw to hold that into place. Perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 38, it looks like we've got some fluid lines going in. I don't know if these are brake lines. I'm guessing they are. We're going to be cutting these to length, putting these into positions with just some bracket tabs to keep them nice and safe. So they're looking just like that. So small little pack, this one. I will get my sprue cutters here and just cut these off the sprue. And I need a few different lengths of this. So I need one that's 330 mils. So 33 centimeters. Let's measure that out. Matter of fact, I can visually show you that if I use my ruler. So 33 centimeters. That's 33 is going to be there. One's going to be 260 mils or 26 centimeters. So I got that there. And then finally we've got one that's 250 millimeters. 25 centimeters, which is going to be just there. Now, bring the car over here, and we want to turn it upside down. And on these points here, you can see where we're going to be putting the brackets. They're just going to go over the top like this. 1, 2, and 3 at the back there. They're all held in with SM screws. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in first, just in the middle. There you go, that's nice and tight. And then I'm going to thread all of these leads that I've just cut through that one just there. And then I'll put the other brackets in here and here. And there you go, they're all in. Now, I'm going to be connecting up the pipes at this end to the engine here. So the smallest lead, which is this one here, which is 25 centimeters, is just going to be going onto the nipple that we can see just there. I am going to use some glue just around that nipple because I don't want these falling off. Not a lot of glue. Make sure I've got the right lead again and thread this in. There we go. That's the first one in. Now that was actually the second longest one. The very shortest one is going to go into the little black detail which I've got next to it. You can probably see that there. So I'll get this one in as well. Now this one hasn't got a nipple. It's actually just got a hole that this is going to go into. That was actually a hard one to put in there, but that one's in. And now the longest one here, I need to sort of feed down through the engine. So I'm just going to guide this through because I'm going to need to turn this over in a second. And it's probably best if I put this in and then show you where I've put it. There you go. Hopefully you can see that there's a hole onto the engine just there. I'm pointing to it. Just there. That's where that one goes. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now you know you're going to love stage 39. Check this out. We have got a massive floor pan to put on, which looks just like that. This is really going to make the whole thing come together when that's on. So by the end of it, it's looking just like this here. Look at that. So it looks like that from that side, that from that side. And there's the wheel arches, a different colour there, or the inside wheel trims there. This is brilliant. Okay. Bring the car over again here. I have zoomed out my side camera so you can see what that looks like. And this is what way round it's going to go. And this is just going to be going, fitting on top, just like this here. So I'm just slowly lining everything up. Now the reason you put it in an angle here is because you don't want to damage the meshes on those there. So I'm just slowly getting this in. There you go. That fits in like that. That's excellent. When that's on, we're not attaching that yet. I'm just going to turn this upside down. Just making sure that this steering arm here is through the hole. So that's not impeded. There you go. Lovely. And you will see underneath where the wheels are, there's a channel and there's 3 holes in here for these 3 leads to go into. So they're sort of going to go under here. And I'm going to put them into those holes. So they're in and now they're through there. Now I need to start putting this all into place. So I've got some AAM screws. Big screwdriver time. I'm going to get these in first, which is going to start putting this floor pan attaching to the car. There you go. That's the other side in. Now this anti-roll bar here is going to have CM screws. Just like that. One the other side. And then at the front of the engine here, I've got 2 AAM screws to put in just here and here. That is perfect. So let's turn this upside down. Aha, that looks good. I like that. Now in the previous pack we did this here. This is just going to be going along this edge just here. So all of these flutes here, got to line them all up, are going to go through the hole, which I'm just sorting out now. Now before I connect the pipes, I'm actually going to screw this in first. So I need some CM screws. Line this up and I'll get this in. Takes 3 CM screws. So the way these leads goes, the red one that we've got coming from the distributors is going into the center of that section just like that. There we go, that one's in. Then these other 2 are just going to go into the hole in the wall on the side of that section. It probably would have been easier, like the instructions say, to put this in before that wall goes on. I'm just going to be threading it on now here. There we go. That probably was easier to actually attach that before you put the wall on. The only ones I haven't attached at the moment are these two here. Not quite sure where they go yet, but that is all there is to do in that stage. So, last stage in this pack. We've got a metal plate here and some screws. Bring the car over and quite simply you can see where this is going to go. It's just going to go this way round on top of this open section here. Just like that. Just seeing if there's a way round it goes. You want the lip here to be towards the inside, so it's that way round there. I'm just going to hold that in with an AGM screw. I used the singular there when I should have used the plural because I meant screws. So get this in. That's perfect, and that's all there is to do in that stage, and that's all there is to do in that pack. So that leads me now on to box 11, and as you can see, the first thing we're going to do in box 11 is we've got some more leads that we're going to create into the rear section, which is including the battery here. So get all of those done, and that's the end of that stage. So let's do that now. So we've made quite a few batteries this week. So what we're going to do, first of all, we've got these terminals here, which are just going to go on top. There is locating lugs for them. So one in one side, one in the other, but they are going to be screwed down. Let's get that lined up as well. Just with some small MP screws. Tiny screws these are. But that will hold these terminals in. Got a bracket just to put on this side here. And again, just some MP screws to keep that into place. Going to put this into the car. So it's going just at the back here. Turn it around so you can see that actually. There you go. So it's going in this way. So it fits perfectly over the little lugs there. It is going to be secured in from the other side. But first thing I want to do is just actually attach these leads. Now the leads go into the holes just into the floor pan there. So this one here is going to go right to the side. Let me show you. In that hole just there. Very hard to get these into the holes, I have to say. But I'll get these in first. The second one's going right over the other side, just into the hole here. Just like that. And then I can attach this battery underneath the vehicle here with some AP screws. Now we've got these brackets here which are going to sort of pin that battery into place. Actually go through this section just here. You see we've got some holes here and they're going to fit into the hole just at the back. So one there and sort of at an angle. Hopefully you can see this. One there. And they'll hold themselves in, no problems at all. Which means the last thing to do is to just take this tiny piece looking like that. And this is just going to be going on the lip just at the very end here. So it's going to go on like that. Held in with a KM screw. So just screwing that in there. Nice and tight. And that's all there is to do in that stage. In the next stage, looks like we're making some fans here, but we're going to be putting these together and then this is going to be going onto the vehicle just like that. Again, this looks like a nice quick stage, this one. And all we're going to be doing is putting these shafts onto the fans like that, holding it in place with an MP screw, which I've got already here. Get that secured nice and tight and just do the same on the other one. Then these shafts are D-shaped. They're just going to go into the hole just at the back here. So they fit nice and flush in there. Do the same on the other one. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the next stage, stage 43, again, we've got these parts here to go on, which we're putting these fan sections in that we just created. So that now looks just like that. And the way these go, if I just lay this out exactly as we see there, I'm going to be taking these brackets and putting them on each section here. So one there, and this one is going on that one just like that. the fans that we created here, looking like that, are going to sit on top of that section there. So I need to start skewing these in. So the fan's connected with a KP screw, and then the actual bracket is connected with an ACP screw. So let's do them now. Nice and tight. And then the ACP will just secure the bracket there. Just do exactly the same on the other side. We can turn that over now, just like that. That's what that's looking like, by the way. And I'm going to be putting this metal piece into place, which is sort of going to go on just like that, but it's held in by this bracket just here, like that. Gives you an idea. That's held in with SP screws. And those of you who are very astute will know I haven't got a clue what these parts are actually called. I'm just giving them their own names. So please forgive me. This is a learning exercise for me. But if you do know the names of some of the things that I'm installing, please feel free to put them in the comments so that I can learn for next time. But there we go. That's in. Then we're going to be putting this in the car. So this goes where the battery is. And it's going to just fit either side of the battery here. I want the cables to be on top. So I'll slide that in. It's going to fit just like that there. That's held in with AM screws. Just two. One at the back here. Perfect. And then just one on the other side. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So that means the last stage that we've got here looks just like that. We're going to be adding what looks like a radiator here onto the vehicle. So at the end, again, that looks just like that. Now this is the last pack. So how many stages have we done? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we've done 11 stages. Not bad. Okay, so we want to get this together now. So I'm looking for this grill here, which is going to be going, get this lined up, onto this side of what appears to be a frame for the radiator here. It's going to be held in with ACP screws. So one there and one here. Once that's in, we get to put the other side in, which goes in this way, just like that. This time held in with SP screws. That's one. And two. We're putting this whole section now, flat side, onto this section just here. So it's going to go in like that. I want to make sure I've got this round the right way so that the lip that we've got there is following the lip that I've got on this side here. So clip this in so it should look like that. It's going to be held in with AP screws, and we need 4 of those this time. We've got 2 hoses now to put into these holes just at the front. So one in this side and one in the other side there. So bringing over the car again, this is just going to be going where the fans are there. It's going to be going this way round. So it's going to sort of fit on just like this. Now it actually goes underneath that lip, as you can see there. So 3 of these to put these in. So that's 1. And I'll just put the other 2 in. And that looks pretty impressive. Check that out. There you go. And I'll show you underneath. You can see the fans there as well. But that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. That certainly was a marathon build, wasn't it? So 3 whole packs done. 11 stages. I think I did 1 stage on the live stream. But I mean, look at it. Look at it. Don't know where this is going yet, just so you know. But that is what it's looking like from underneath. The wheels now, obviously, as we know, turn. Sorry, I keep thinking this where the engine is the front, but they're all good. The Lovely car, absolutely lovely. Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, have put the link down here to the IXO Collection's website. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.